It's been love, but it's over now. Must have been true, and that just goes hell.
Get some any kind of compromise ever to the left. So I'm willing to go very far on many different so-called must-pass bills, because especially with the defense bill, I don't give a damn if it passes. I know everybody in Washington cries over it, but if you're a progressive, you shouldn't be crying over, oh my God, did the defense contractors get enough, right? So there will be opportunities, and we should do every one of these strategies. We got to pick our spots, and helping the Republicans in this case, the potential for helping the Republicans, I don't think is the right way to go.
Yeah, and then there was one other thing I wanted to mention that I thought was a good idea by Sirota, where, he argues, a vote on Medicare for all is one thing, but you could also schedule a vote to allow states to create their own single-payer health care, right? And that's...
Yeah, I don't agree with that, too.
Oh, you don't agree with that? Okay.
Yeah, and
I think it's an interesting strategy, though. Let me just give some context so the audience knows what we're talking about. So Ro Khanna proposed legislation that would empower the Department of Health and Human Services to approve waivers to states that want to create their own single-payer healthcare system. And should that pass, keep in mind that Xavier Becerra, who is supportive of Medicare for All, could be the new Secretary of Health and Human Services. And so that's a good sign. That could pave the way for Medicare for All, at least on a state level. But I want to hear your thoughts real quick on that, Cenk.
Yeah, I just think that doing it at the state level is much, much harder. You need national infrastructure for this. So I don't want to go to a halfway measure that then fails because it wasn't for the whole country. And then, oh no, we set the movement back for no reason. Nationwide, it definitely works. It works in every developed country in the world. We're the only ones who don't have it. But am I positive that Vermont's going to get it right or California's going to get it right? I'm not positive. And so they might not be able to do it without the national budget behind it, honestly. So, and I don't want to go to weak sauce alternatives, in my opinion, okay? So I definitely want a Medicare for All vote on the floor.
He says he doesn't want to go to weak sauce alternatives. He destroyed David Sirota's two best ideas. Should the states do it? No. Fire Richard Neal? Yes, but no. The two best ideas. So what else is going on? What the hell else is going on? Cenk says that forced to vote it's constructive. It's action. It's constructive. Give Jimmy Dore credit. The idea that it's just performative art. Well, performative art is important. The theater is important for framing and branding. Cenk says to draw the line in the sand. Weak sauce. He doesn't want any weak sauce alternatives. That's exactly what David Sirota had offered, a bunch of weak sauce alternatives. Both Cenk and Anna believe that you should put the pressure on the politicians. Anna even agrees that you should put pressure on the squad AOC, more pressure on them. So, look, they just agree all over the place. Cenk, okay, but right now he's against forced to vote, and he's going to repeat Kevin McCarthy, that bullshit lie, which was debunked over and over again. But essentially 95% Mr. Legalized Bestiality. That's Cenk. Mr. Legalized Bestiality, Mr. Former Elliot Rodgers. He was a former sexist. Couldn't get laid, and so he just started hating all womankind. Former, Russia Gator. Russia. Elizabeth Warren. Stooge. Hey, everyone, love Elizabeth. No, not Bernie. It's Elizabeth. She's going to be the president. She's going to be anti-forced to vote. Anti-forced to vote. He knows that it's a good strategy. He knows that it's constructive. He knows that, we put pressure. He knows that performative art theater is important for framing and branding. He knows that the Democrats in Washington, D.C. has absolutely no strategy whatsoever. Anna repeats, Anna hates Jimmy Dore. Basically, she couldn't even get it, she couldn't just talk about the argument. You could just see the hatred for Jimmy Dore is just seething. It's just boiling out of her pores. But if Mr. Former Elliot Rodgers, Mr. Former Incel, Mr. Legalized Bestiality can essentially see that this common sense, this obviously good common sense idea is a good idea, it's obviously fucking good, then perhaps so can Anna. so can Anna, and so can the rest of them. Because all over the place, right? He says that it's, it's action. He likes that. It's constructive, so therefore it's positive. He doesn't want weak, false alternatives, so he knows that this is a good, strong, issue. For Medicare for all, fucking A. We're actually going to get a vote for Medicare for all. Cenk says it's important to draw the line in the sand. It's important to draw the line in the sand. Cenk destroyed every single one of David Sirota's ideas, even the 2 ideas that I liked of David Sirota's. And Cenk Uygur wants to primary all the people that a vote for Medicare for all would expose. So instead of unmasking all the fake progressive, online YouTubers, by being on the side of forced to vote, we could see who's on the side of, Medicare for all and who's on the side of. So that would get him his list. So this is essentially, Cenk Uygur, ideologically, 95% is on fucking board. Because it's Jimmy. Because what, he said something to Anna one time or something, and she's just like, no. Just like Hitler in The Rise of Evil, never compromise on the Jew, never compromise on Jimmy Dore. Never compromise. We have built our relationship on the hatred of Jimmy Dore. Is that what Anna is saying to Cenk, pulling him off to the side? We have... So, what the fuck?
Florida House. It will be... So on that, I agree 1,000,000,000% with Jimmy in that side of the equation. Because you know who needs to know who's going to vote against Medicare for all? I need to know. Because I am going to make a list, and I will primary those people. Okay? I will help every organization that primaries those people. I'll help every PAC, every candidate that primaries.
So what's the problem? Why would you not vote? Why would you not be forced to vote?
Last 2 things is a perfect example. And everybody go to tyt.com/polls because we really, really want to know your opinion on this because it's a super interesting issue.
90%
and I don't know if you guys are going to come out on it. Okay? So now, the last 2 things that are important are, look, Tim Ryan ran for president. When he did, I caught up with him at the Iowa stakeout, okay, like where they cook